Okay, good evening everyone. It seems that for now I will be casting by myself, so I'm a bit nervous. It's the first time I'm doing this, but let's see how it goes. This is of course Mr. Bramboy against TPHB. The first map will be Fertile Crescent. They are currently still hopping between the civilizations, and with some luck they'll do that long enough for a showcaster to come up. Co-caster. Show up, I mean. Bram seems to be willing to play this, and so does TPHB, so we'll have an Aztec against China game. I am not sure how China generally plays this matchup, but I would assume they do the very standard thing where they just fast fortress as quickly as possible and then just spam unit shipments. It's very standard China stuff. I don't know TPHB personally, but of course Mr. Bramboy is a proud member of the same clan as me and a media team member for ESOC, and he is in the top left of the map playing in the color blue as Aztec, while his opponent TPHB is in the bottom right of the map playing in the color red as China. Let's take a look at the hunts quickly. So starting one hunt. Then we have some here. Seems about fair. So, some explorers going to look for treasures. War Priest helping scouting a bit, of course, because there's no fire pit yet, so might as well scout a bit with it. Let's take a look at some treasures. EXP. Geological survey, not too great. Minor coin. Nice food treasure, but lion is pretty difficult to kill. Oh, this is a very nice treasure though. 50 wood is very impactful in the early game. So yeah, just not too many treasures. There's the 50 wood, there's a food treasure as well, but besides that, a couple of coin, and that's about it. Let's just switch this around a bit. Okay, so let's see. There are trading posts. And the China player is taking one currently. These probably upgrade separately, I would imagine, since it's two different routes on different side of the map. Let's see if they have chosen decks yet. No. Neither player has chosen decks. But most likely the Aztec player will place a forward war hut, probably around here somewhere, to try and put pressure on the China player. To basically do as much damage as possible before he gets to fortress, because if you do not pressure China quickly, their fortress timing push can be very, very nasty. Bramboy now knowing where every single mine on the map is. It's not the greatest thing, but it can be useful, just so you know where you need to raid and such. But generally you have scouted the entire map anyway, so... And yeah, this is almost certainly a fast fortress deck from China here, so I would imagine just very standard things coming out of that. Aztec deck also looks very, very standard. 3 H1 cards is a bit strange, but I suppose he's not planning to go industrial, really, so... He certainly does have fortress options, though, with this deck. Nice upgrade cards, and very important Eagle Runners, and of course the general HP unit shipments. I actually quite like these mercenary cards for Aztec. But anyway, let's take a look. Market for either player, no. And no forward villagers yet either, but yeah, he's not really quite there to age, so nothing too surprising there. Taking a look at S50 coin treasure. Probably just going to use it for some market upgrades once he gets one in transition. And we'll have to keep an eye on how Bramboy decides to age up. If he goes for a fast age up, he is almost certainly going to put on pressure. No extra TPs being taken yet. But yeah, Bramboy just really abusing his Aztec Explorer to get a lot of treasures here. And he is aging up, and yeah, it's with the messengers, so fast age up, and I would imagine that a villager is going to be sent forward at some point relatively soon. Perhaps this one, or that might just be for chopping wood. I'm not sure what this one's doing. Yeah, it's a forward villager for sure now. Okay. Well, it could technically hurt this. Yeah, he's gonna hurt that. Okay, never mind then. So, I'm not sure what he's going to plan to do then. There's no forward villagers anywhere. Oh, these... I think he just was a bit late on his forward villagers then. Or maybe he just wants to be a bit delayed with his pressure because he knows China goes to colonial relatively late. Although there's 4 villagers on the Wonder, so... never mind that, I suppose. And yeah, he just delayed his forward villagers a bit. Wanted to get that little bit of extra economy going, because if you build that warhead too early, you can't really get out 5 units anyway, so... I also have to take a look at what his first shipment is. Oh, and we see walls going up for China here. I really like this particular... Oh, why am I flaring? I have no Kokase, but this particular wall is really strong. It just basically completely denies the left flank. I mean, he technically speaking could go through here, but... Well, there is a thing over here as well, I suppose. But it denies the quickest route to his left flank, so... This one's a bit peculiar. I mean, if the Aztec player is going to push from that side, he's just going to come through here. Okay, yeah, with this addition now, though, it makes sense. This is just a very nice protection from this hunt. This mine as well, somewhat. And where are his berries, actually? Ah, over here, yeah. And yeah, just training pikemen, 700 wood first for Aztec. China actually had a couple of shipments saved up due to the trading post. Maybe a bit of a miss-macro, but shouldn't be too big of a deal. Let's see if there's a market for Aztec. No, no market. So this is just going to be very, very strong pressure. Let's take a look at units in queue. Is he making more pikemen? Yes, more pikemen, and also a market being made by Bramboy here. So he is going to want to have some economy upgrades to support this push of his. Because without them, obviously, our push will start falling off pretty quickly. DC fire here, obviously doing a lot of damage to these pikemen. No ranged resist, and not too high hit points. Basically a guaranteed 2-shot. I'm not sure if I like how he's taking 3 damage on his Explorer here. Although I guess, yeah, the villagers want to go get it anyway, so... He's just going to siege these walls a bit. Probably wait for a bit more pikemen coming up. Mace Hulton being shipped, and I would imagine more pikemen in the queue for now. A Chukunu shipment arriving here. Ooh, these need to be a bit careful, actually. He doesn't... Oh, he does have enough wood for a wall, so he could fall them back, but yeah, he's just going to run them around. There's no need to spend 50 wood on the gate for now. Villagers going into the sea again, so Bramboy probably going to fall back a bit here again, because you really don't want to stand under a TC with villagers in it for too long. It does a lot of damage. He needs more pikemen though if he wants to actually siege things. And yeah, he's making more pikemen for now, and a house, of course. Let's take a look at the techs. Oh, he made a market but did not get any market upgrades. I wonder if that's a mistake or if he is just trading resources. Where is his market actually? I saw it in the units in queue. Did he cancel it? I guess he might have cancelled it. Anyway, villager. Ooh, he accidentally shipped the coin to his village. That is a big mistake. It's going to be very difficult for him to get that up now. You have to be really careful as China with your shipment points, because you can easily make a mistake like this. Ah, yeah, he does have a market. Yeah. Haha. I did see it correctly. Ooh, this villager might go down here. No, safe in the TC. Shipping wood as well now. But he really needs to get this coin up so he can actually go to Fortress. This is really bad for TPHB. So he just has a market but no market upgrades. Both players house. And yeah, China's actually housed really badly because he only had the one village. And with that, you know, he only has the 10 population from his TC. Nice Mace Hulton placement here though, guarding these coin crates. Although they don't do that much damage to villagers actually. Their ranged attack is quite low and they rely on their modifiers to really do damage, so... Although the China player does not have a market, so he can't get the villager HP upgrade, so... They do have to be careful somewhat. Chokunu is trying to provide some covering fire here so he can gather these coin crates. 9 mace hold till next shipment. I mean, Brum does look to be in a pretty good position, but he does need to hurry up and do some actual damage, because if he waits too long, eventually China will have the coin. I think China might actually need to add in a barracks here with his 700 wood, just to get a couple extra units out. Although he does have the Summer Palace slowly making units as well. Does he have Colonial Militia or something similar in his deck? No, he does not. He could ship maybe 7 Step Riders and go for some raiding, which could actually be good. It would force some of these pikemen to go back instead of siege, and it would be very, very awkward. I think the 7 Step Rider shipment is actually somewhat underrated. They are really, really bad at combat units, but you get 7 Cav units for 1 shipment, and they can really spread out easily and just harass villagers all over the map. Even if they don't kill them, like, just forcing Bramboy to relocate his units is pretty good. He almost has the coin needed, but he still needs a bit more food as well. Let's take a look at NQ. Probably more. Oh, finally some Coyote. Yeah, this is... Once those Coyote pop out, this could be problematic for the China player. He really needs to get to his Wanderer before those Coyote arrive, because those Coyote are going to forever deny the going up of a Wonder. And yeah, there they are. Oh. 7 Step Rider, yeah. I mean, he could fight with these technically, because the pikemen actually are... Where are the pikemen? No, they didn't die, so... Oh, they're sieging down the Summer Palace, okay. Yeah, so this is actually kind of annoying for Bram, because of this wall, he's really going to struggle to get to his army now, but yeah, the Summer Palace goes down. And, oh yeah, Step Rider are terrible combat units, as I said, so they just got wrecked by the Coyote. But yeah, this is really problematic for TPHB now. He did manage to gather his coin because of the Step Riders, so he just needs the food now. But his Chukunu are going to die here, and he does not have the food yet to go to Fortress. I don't like how he's still making village at the moment though. He's wasting precious food. He needs to get to Fortress. At this point it might even be too late, but... Just making more villagers is not what's going to save him here at this point. He just needs to get his Wonder Foundation down. And at this point his TC might even go down before the Wonder finishes. He needs 120 food more. I don't like how he's mining coin here as well. There's really no purpose to this. His Explorer does wake up again though, and it has quite a bit of hit points, but it can't take down this army by itself. Where are those people? There's getting coin, yeah, right here on the deer. Once those go down, he's really in a lot of trouble, because the only places where he can gather food is these 3 berry bushes, or just somehow sneak villagers past, and that's not going to happen. TC is probably going to go down here. He has no food income at the moment and no way of buying food either, so... He did manage to get these out, and Bramboy hasn't noticed it just yet. And yeah, these maize are not going to kill it in time before the food is gathered for the Wonder Foundation, but there's no way this TC survives to meleeing the Explorer to kill it finally, but yeah. Monk does go down again. Rallying his villagers through the village to try and sneak some food up, but yeah, this TC is going to go down. I can't imagine China. So, he does resign. He needed to maybe cut a couple of villagers to get the Wonder up, and of course shipping the coin to his village was a big mistake. Yeah, he knows it as well. He could have easily been Fortress actually if that coin was shipped to his TC, but sadly, missing your shipment waypoint can be disastrous. So yeah, Brown wins the first game. I also completely forgot to actually place my microphone in the right position, so hopefully you guys were able to understand me properly. I think Brahma is relogging because he was talking about sound bugs, so... And yeah, I think we're going to have WickedCossack join me for the next games. I'm not sure how long he can stay though, so there might be more solo casted games later. I hope not, but you know, sometimes you have no choice. So yeah, we'll need a moment again because we might have a co-caster. We just need to wait for him to respond. Oh yeah, Jim has a good point. I should probably actually tag him. So I believe that because this is now the elimination stage, they do have to switch civilizations here, and Bramboy has to pick first. So yeah, we are going to have WickedCossack with us, it seems. I'm just asking him if he wants to use Discord or Skype. And Bramboy wants to see what the map looks like, of course. That's completely his right to do so. All players are allowed to demand to view the map before the game, of course. Or he's just looking at the screenshot, of course. That's also possible. And Bramboy is looking in India for this map, so we'll have to see which civ TPHB responds with. Oh, I'm dumb. Hello?
Hey, Chrissy.
Ah, hello. Yeah, I was like,
Hi,
wait, why is he not accepting my friend request? But obviously we can just use the the actual room.
Yeah. Yeah. Is the sound okay?
Yeah, you sound fine to me. Obviously it's possible that for the stream it's different, but I'm sure they will let us know in that case. So.
All right, cool. So we on?
Yeah. So how are you doing, my good friend WickedCossack?
Yeah. No, I'm doing all right. Thought I'd jump in for a game or two. I did catch the end of the first one there. That was a classic mistake with the resources going to the wrong shipment point.
Yeah, for sure. To be fair, I'm not even sure why he shipped his Chokonus to that point either, but hey.
Yeah, well, that's a mistake anyone who's played Age of Empires has made at some point. Like, everyone's done that. It's such a relatable mistake, right? So that's. But you don't want to do that in a tournament game. That's like the worst time for it to happen. So unfortunate.
Yeah, I've been known to ship my 7 villagers to a random forward castle as well, so...
Your 7... Oh, it's just... Yeah, sure. Alright.
Yeah, and then you sent like the second one as well, and you forget to
got,
change it too, and you have like 14 villagers in a proxy castle, and you're like, what do I do with these now?
That's not great. But we got a pretty classic matchup. This is kind of a fairly popular matchup. India versus Japan. I think it's pretty even, in my opinion. So hopefully we'll get a good game here.
Oh, for sure. I mean, there's not a single European civ in this game. I don't know the first one that I did actually. It's quite impressive.
Yeah. So we got some of the more interesting civs. First thing to note is we've got a coin start. So both of these civilizations are going to kind of be impacted by that. But yeah, because they're both hit by it, it's probably not an issue. But they're just going to age a bit later, and Japan's going to have to gather a lot more wood to get the consulate in their first shrine.
Yeah, for sure. To be fair, like, I actually somewhat like the coin start as Japan, depending on the matchup, of course. Against something like Aztec, I wouldn't. But against something like India, I think it's actually alright, because it allows you to get your food upgrade in transition a lot easier.
Alright, okay.
Which then allows you to put an extra villager on wood instead of on the food, because if you have the food upgrade, you need one less villager on your cherry orchards to keep villager production during transition.
Yeah. Do you know much about 90 wood's going to be really nice. Do you know much about how these players play this matchup, or are we just expecting the India's going to do a kind of a forward aggro, put on the aggression as normal, and the Japan's going to defend?
I've never seen TPHB play before now, so I'm not sure how he plays it, but his China build was very standard, so I would assume that his Japan build is also going to be very standard.
Alright, so 90 wood for the India. That is always lovely to pick up. Makes you feel so much better. It's just a nice confidence boost, more than the resource boost, if anything.
Yeah, for sure. 90 wood is just one of the best treasures you can pick up, especially on this map, because there's not that many big ones, I believe.
Yeah, and I think I've played this map a few times, actually. Usually the big treasures kind of spawn towards the top, sometimes on the this little... I don't know what to call it, but you know the
I know how to call it, but I won't do it on stream.
No, I know. I had that in my mind too, but yeah, wanted to maintain a certain level of professionalism.
Yeah, for sure. They actually got a bit unlucky with that, because like the big treasures that spawn this time are pretty bad.
Yeah. So they're not that good. So it seems that India's kind of got the best one there, which is 90. We got Heavenly Kami coming in from the Japanese player, so it seems quite standard. Oh, and here comes the forward Vil, and he's seen it, so we could get the aggro being blocked here. This could be pretty big. He's only got one explorer though. So
yeah, look at where his second one is immediately going, though. It's racing off to try and stop it.
He mealeed the explorer to slow down the Vil. This could be really awkward because this trading post line kind of cuts in the middle. There's only a few places he could really put that aggro down.
Yeah, there's going to be like 4 explorers like trying desperately to do things.
Yeah, I have just noticed he is actually still 200 food off. I kind of assumed he was getting close to 800, so he's not quite there just yet. And he's got another Vil coming out at the... 2 Vils coming out at the bottom. Okay, so Bad Boy's getting prepared. I think that's the correct decision.
Yeah, for sure. He needs to hurt that anyway, so you might as well, you know, do it early and get a safety net in case your aggro fort gets blocked.
Yeah, and I think at this point, Red's kind of assumed, oh, hang on, he must have put the aggro down somewhere else, right? But Brown Boy hasn't even got 800 food yet.
Yeah, he's actually just moved his
explorers off, and we could see the aggro possibly going down with the original Vil. And
does he get it?
He's going to get blocked again.
Oh no, he doesn't. So well, he blocked it for a moment. You know, it's like half a second saved.
Yeah, that's going to be reassuring though, knowing that he's aging so late. But then again, I've just noticed Red himself has only just started aging. He's got 2 Vils on the big shrine.
For a coin start, I don't think this is that late for Japan actually.
No, yeah, it's probably not too bad, but ideally you want to be aging under 5 minutes for both of these civs, I think.
Yeah, I think that's why he put an extra villager on the Wonder. Huh, so this Japan deck is quite interesting. I'm not sure if I like having 3 eco upgrades in H3 against India. Especially when one of them is like a rice paddy upgrade.
Well, we'll see. They might come into play. Usually, I don't think this matchup will go to that point. But we can see TPHB is kind of exploiting one of the main features on this map. So yeah, this map's kind of unique in that it's got a few ramps going up into your main base, which, as we can see, is walling them up. So it makes it a lot easier to wall. You don't have to spend as many resources. There is a fair bit of wood going into that.
Yeah, especially because he's not deleting the pillars.
Yeah. The only slight issue with these walls is that they're a bit far away from the town centre. So like when the Sepoy starts sieging them, you can't get the TC fire going or anything. So the Sepoy will actually blast through these at some point, and because only 1,500 HP. So this is more of a delay. I don't think they're actually gonna hold Brown Boy.
Yeah, unless you get some really early Yumi out, but... There's another problem with walling like this, like Japan, though, because if the sepoys say, like, whatever, I don't care, and just go here and just kill your shrines, you're like, well, I mean, that's not nice.
Yeah. Oh, I've just noticed, so Brown Boy, he's lost one of his explorers at the top. I'm not quite sure what happened there. Maybe, I think TPHB...
Maybe he accidentally attacked...
Oh yeah, that could have also happened. I know it was the splash damage. That's what it was. That's why he typed WTF, right?
Ah, yeah, because he's sieging the shrines, but it's like an AoE attack, so it accidentally hit the smugglers. Ooh.
Yeah. So he's interesting. Okay, so he sent his 2 sepoys to retrieve his explorer, right? But he's staying there and sieging the shrine, which kind of is a
nice timing.
Yeah, but that's kind of like a telltale sign that he's not going full on rush, right? Like, you'd immediately pull these sepoys back. So yeah, he shipped 600 wood, so we're not seeing the traditional, right, 12 sepoy, go straight in, see what damage we can do.
Right-click the TC.
Yeah. He's going for a more delayed push.
And I like how Japan's responding with, like, he sees the sepoy sieging her shrines, like, oh, so they're not going to attack my base, nice, I'm just going to build a couple extra shrines, get a market up, and get some nice upgrades.
Yeah.
I think he even cancelled his...
That's the problem with what Brown Boy's done, is that it's immediately scoutable. As soon as the Japan sees, okay, you've got sepoys sieging shrines on the complete opposite side of the map, like, I immediately know you're not rushing me. So he's got he can just do whatever he wants for a few minutes, right? He can ship 4 villagers, which is what he's done. He can get more shrines up, so it's just kind of giving him a bit more time to do what he wants. But we'll see what Brown Boy does with the 600 wood. He's obviously going to try and set up some kind of timing later on.
He has a lot of market upgrades, by the way. He has tier 2, the all gathering thing, Imperial Bureaucracy, and he has tier 1 food and coin.
Oh, right,
tier
very
2
nice.
Food.
Yeah. So getting a good eco going. Oh, and he's going for this treasure, and I think he's going to do it properly this time.
Without losing his explorers. I mean,
Yeah.
210 coin is a lot of coins, so it's very nice.
That is very
300
nice.
exports, so I would imagine Ottoman Consulate for even more economy boom.
Yeah, I would expect Ottoman Consulate, but we could also see, well, we're going to find out any second, but it could be a Brit Consulate, right? And then he goes for the 2 sets of red coats, and then that's his timing.
That's
with the big eco behind it. But yeah, normally we'd expect Ottoman Consulate, but and probably because he's getting the Caravanesi as well.
It is Ottoman, so yeah. He might be going for a calf timing though, because Ottoman, of course, can also just train gardeners. They don't have to go for the economy boost from it. So he might be going Musk-Huz with the gardeners from the Ottoman Consulate.
Yeah, I think he's looking to get a more rounded composition, because we can see he's got 5 Gurkhas out now, so he's just kind of developing a nice composition. And here we go. Yeah, I like this red. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I was worried that this bit kind of wasn't walled up, so Brown Boy could have just walked right round. Yeah,
I was also going to say I don't like this gate because he just has another ramp here, but yeah, now that he's also walling there, it makes more sense. Because walls actually are really, really expensive. You only want to make those when needed.
Yeah. So
gates are expensive, I mean. Walls are not expensive.
Yeah, so these Yumi are quite safe, right? They can't be killed too easily at the moment. As soon as Bram starts sieging these shrines, the Yumi can poke out and start killing the blue units. So he's got, the Japan player's got a really nice setup here. What's his shrine count at? 120? So
he has 120 pop, so 111.
Yeah, so that's not high, but it's not low. So he's doing all right. But his shrines have actually been taken care of in Bram's side of the map, so that's good work by Bram. He's stopping it from getting out of control, basically, which is what you want to do.
Do you know who wins in a 1v1, the Gurkha or the Yumi?
I'm pretty sure that well, at the moment the Yumi should win, because I think there's a few more of them. But Yumi in general they're pretty nice versus Gurkha.
Okay, even before.
But that might just be the. Yeah, that might just be the Indian in me being scared of the Yumi.
Well, they do have quite a bit more damage, but Gurkha have slightly more hit points. But yeah, I do think you're right that Yumi archers have the extra damage you need to shoot through the extra hit points, especially because now there's just more of them as well, of course. I think this is a small hole in the wall, but I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah, so we got the
Seaboy
cav
circling around here
now
to get the shrines.
Yeah, I was wondering if Bram was gonna show his little cav mass, because sometimes that's a nice trick you can do as India, right? You hide that you're actually massing up the camels, but he's kind of immediately shown that he's got them. So
doesn't really matter though,
he's gonna add on a
Ashes
few more batches of Ashy, I guess. Yeah. So he's well aware, and he can develop his composition nicely.
I think TPHB might be trying to get to Fortress here because he just chipped 600 coin and he has a decent bit of... No, never mind. He's just going to transition to double racks Ashy production. And the 600 coin is a very nice enabler for that. Camel attack has been sent, so these Sowars, if they can connect with the Yumi, will be very, very dangerous.
Yeah.
More shrines getting sieged down here, and Japan is actually behind on Eco now.
Yeah, I was just thinking, Bram Boy's doing a really good job at kind of containing all these shrines, and TPHB really can't get out on the map here. And even his poking's not being super effective. Like, these camels have just scared him off. He maybe got one Gurkha there, but then like a Yumi died as well, so that wasn't even a beneficial trade for him. And he's popped now. He's popped in. Wow, so yes, he was 79 out of 80. This is not looking good for the Japan.
This can actually be a very awkward map for Japan on my limited experience, only because there's not that many hunts, and they are all either extremely close to the opponent's base or just really far from, like, your protection. So it's like, you can maybe get 4 shrines in a safe position on hunt.
Yeah. We got a Seaboy raid coming in the back, and
that's going to get shut down though. I like how he had it in a stable already. Stable is just really nice for Japan. Nagis are so good.
Yeah, I think these Seaboy had to have potential to get a few vills there, but they kind of spread their shots out, so I'm not sure they got any, and they got shut down. So that's one thing that's going well for the Japan. Though these 2 vills are going to get caught out. I think they're trying to. Yep, they've been spotted.
Those are probably dead. At least one of them, possibly 2. He does need to preserve these Seaboy a bit though, because at the moment he has no what are they called, Zamarax?
Yeah, it's a good point. I'd like to see.
So these Nuggies could do some serious damage, because obviously Sowars are really not that great when fighting anything that's not light infantry, or not light infantry, range infantry I think it's called. You know, basically Yumis. So like, if there's enough Nuggies on the field, then they can become a real threat for the Indian army if the Seaboy die, which they did.
Yeah, so we'll probably see a batch of Zambrux coming out, because I think Bramboy did see maybe one or 2 Nuggies there was a Seaboy. Oh, right, okay.
And so is
that can work too. So I guess he's going to get the 2 siege elephants, which is going to kind of give him some siege and allow him to put on even more pressure. But he's got to be feeling pretty good with this. There's absolutely no shrines on the map. Wow.
I think he should at least try to reshrine this. Like, that is somewhat safe for him. The ones in the middle are a bit more awkward, just because, you know, that's where the opponent is going to be pushing through. But that
I guess because his explorers are dead, maybe he'd, sending out a Vil kind of all that way, it just feels awkward and could get picked off. And I think Bram, did you notice there? He just sent his camels down just to check on the state of those explorers, see if they'd been revived or not. And so that was really nice. I think he just saw in his line of sight that they're both dead, so he knows that he doesn't really have to go around checking for shrines anymore. So that was a pretty nice subtle move there. And he's checking the wall again. That's really nice, because usually you'd expect a villager kind of coming back up there, and that's a free Vil.
Yeah, he is going to rebuild it actually. So Bramboy actually a bit unfortunate on his timing. He's going to check that again relatively soon, because I would imagine that the villager is actually heading there, or maybe it was queued up and not shift-clicked properly.
He's kind of poking around with his army. So yeah, some nice moves from Bramboy.
Yeah, the economy is really becoming a problem for Japan here. Even though it says 54, it's not actually 54, because it's counting shrines as if they are on hunt, and there is 4 shrines not on hunt currently.
So both hit Fortress, and this looks like go time for Bramboy. He's got to make sure he gets all his upgrades in though. He aged up with the Shamanar Gate, so he's got the Markwell back at his base. Hopefully he remembers that, pulls that in.
Yeah, that's going to be pretty good. No veterancy upgrades for any of the Japan units just yet, though. This is quite a big problem. There is a lot of Nagis out at the moment, though, but yeah, there are Zambaraks now, and those are pretty good. They're getting veteran as well now, so...
Do you reckon we might see something like 2 flaming arrows come in as a defense?
I think he's going to need to.
Awkward. Yeah.
He should have enough to protect flaming arrows, so I think he should be fine with it.
Alright, so he went for way of the bow instead.
That is strange. I don't like how he's fighting here before his veteran Yumi is ready, though.
Yeah, so Bramboy got all his veteran upgrades in. I think we have, most of these Japan units are H2, right? And all the Indian units are H3. So this is just an awkward time to engage. The Discipline Yumi comes in now.
Yeah, the Gurkha do die, though, but soon there's going to be nothing left to protect these Yumi from the remaining Cav.
Yeah, he needs to maybe call out the Minutemen. Not that they'll help too much, but that'll be a bit of use.
I think he's just that hit, actually. The siege elephants are here as well now, and this is just very awkward.
No. He's not coming back from this, is he?
No. Unless he has, like, Colonial Militia in his deck or something and does the most miraculous pull ever. But, yeah, that's not gonna happen. Yeah, the economy just was too much for him. He couldn't keep up with India eco.
Yeah.
So yeah, Bramboy does win 2-0.
GG. Yeah. That was nice and patiently played by Bramboy.
Yeah, for sure. I think the Japan player might have needed to commit just slightly more to protecting his shrines, because otherwise your eco is just really, really bad.
Yeah, there was definitely a big economic difference there, and also the fight at the end. He really should have held off until he got those age 3 upgrades, just that little bit. I know it's kind of awkward, but that definitely made a difference when Bramboy had age 3 units against TPHB's age 2 units for a good half a minute there, and so it's a bit awkward.
Another thing, of course, that he had 1400 food saved up at the end there. You know, that's a bit mismacroed there.
Yeah, well, there's a lot going on and stuff. So
oh yeah, for sure. I mean, I for one am terrible at spending my food as well as Japan. So yeah, we can see it in the all resources gathered. Like he just really starts falling behind Bramboy, and it shows in the military population graph as well. Like pure population wise, he is a decent bit behind, but obviously the upgrades as well, and you can just see it in his massive drop of units here. I think he also didn't need to push with those Nagis just yet. Yeah, just a couple of small mistakes adding up to Bramboy winning the game.
He's still got the map out actually, but that build by Bramboy was interesting. I think it feels like a build that you'd have to have a lot of confidence in your own play, that you can kind of contain the Japan. So I was quite impressed with that.
Yeah, you really have to pressure the shrines with that build, because if you don't, then Japan will be even in eco, and then you just get wrecked when they also get H3 upgrades.
Yeah.
Japan gets pretty good once they have H3 upgrades on all their units, stacking with the Pavilion, stacking with the Daimyo, perhaps stacking with the Arsenal upgrades from the Pavilion. Just layers upon layers of upgrades, and then those units get incredibly scary.
Yeah, that's the problem with the matchup, right? The longer it goes, it can swing into Japan's favor. So India has to do something in the first 15-20 minutes. But Bram had it figured out.
I do think that if it goes really late, it swings back to India's favor, because Japan's late game eco is actually pretty bad, because their shrines obviously don't scale with upgrades and such, or not as good, because they have like 1 upgrade in H4, I think, but even then they are worse than Imperial villagers. But yeah, like late game, I really do mean, you know, late game. So Bramboy does win the series.
Yeah, what's the rest of the schedule?